Hello. Today I'd like to go through and cover and touch on a subject I haven't talked about in a long time, and that is inflatable hot tubs. And in particular, I would like to go through and cover kind of the advantages and disadvantages to owning one as compared to a traditional hard side tub, and just kind of giving people an idea of what to expect, what not to expect, and kind of just making a better informed decision about what's best suited for you, because there are advantages and disadvantages to everything from a $250 Miami to say an $8,000 to $10,000 really nice 220 full-fledged hard side tub. So anyways, the first thing that I'm going to do is a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and cover the disadvantages first and then move on to the advantages. So the first major disadvantage, in my opinion, on the inflatable tubs, it's usually the most obvious one, which is the durability factor. They do not last as long as a traditional hard side tub. If you get 5 years out of an inflatable tub, you're doing incredibly well. Whereas as opposed to a hard side tub, it's not uncommon for a person to go, maybe 8 to 10 years without having to do a major overhaul of some expensive equipment, like the pump or something like that. So anyways, that would be the first one. The second one is that inflatable tubs are really they're not designed to be used below a temperature of about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That means that, if you have any ideas about running your tub all winter or whatever, can you do it with an inflatable tub? Yeah, you can. Are you going to send your electrical bill through the roof and be in a situation where you're probably going to greatly shorten the life of your pump, your tub, or whatever by doing it? Yeah, probably, almost certainly. There are some people, who come up with means of insulating the pump, insulating the tub, or a better solution, of course, is to put it in a more climate-controlled environment, and then it's a non-issue. But that is a factor there if you plan on just throwing it out there in the open air deck, in 15 to 20 degree weather for several months on end. It's very likely that it's going to take its toll on an inflatable tub. Now, the third one would be the fact that you cannot run the heater, and if you have an air jet model, which most inflatable tubs are, you cannot run the heater and the air jets at the same time. So generally speaking, what you have to do is heat the tub up to its max temp of 104 degrees, and then go ahead and run the jets, which bring in ambient air temperature, so it will cool your tub down over, say, the 30-minute cycle that the air jets generally run. Now, the last one, the major thing, would be the maintenance factor. Generally speaking, with a inflatable hot tub, you're going to end up having to do more maintenance. The filters are supposed to be changed after every use, so you have to buy a fair number of filters, and the good news is you can, wash them after each use and reuse them. But still, you're going to be changing them out, about every use that you have on your tub, and you do need to change them a bare minimum of weekly, even if you are not using your tub, as long as there's water or anything in there. So that is a serious factor. You also have to change out the water, drain and spray out clean and refill, generally speaking, about once a month. There are some people who will do cleanings, as far as, or not cleanings, but treatment with chemicals, and try and just, avoid water changes by dosing all kinds of different things and stuff like that. But honestly, you run into a lot of issues there, some of them scary with water quality. You can really sit there and religiously test or whatever, but in my opinion, it's just easier just to follow the recommended method of just, plan on every month you drain, you spray out and rinse out your tub, and then refill and start over again. So those are the major disadvantages to owning an inflatable hot tub. But now I'm going to go ahead and cover the advantages of owning one as compared to, say, a more traditional hard side tub. The first one, which of course is the most obvious, is cost. You can get an inflatable hot tub I've seen them for as low as $250 for the Lazy Spa Miami or rebranded Coleman variant models, which, by the way, they're all the Lazy Spas are all the same manufacturer. Saldo Spa, Best Way, Coleman, they're all the same manufacturer, so it's all the same tub. It's just branding, and then maybe one comes with an additional accessory that the other doesn't or something like that. So they're all the same tub, by the way. So the next thing is, the next thing, of course, is the ability to, set up and getting your tub up and running. You don't have to worry about, setting up, several $100s in delivery. You don't have to worry about somebody coming and wiring it for you. You don't have to worry about, or in some cases, even coming in and plumbing the tub for you. You don't have to worry about any of that, which all adds a significant amount of cost to an already very expensive, higher-end hard side tub. You don't worry about that with an inflatable, as long as it's got access to an electrical outlet, basically, and a level surface, and a water source where you can fill it with water. As long as you've got those three things, you can basically set up an inflatable hot tub pretty much wherever you want to. There's some people who even set them up in their living rooms, garages, patios. And of course, if you build some kind of enclosure, it's very easy to literally just bring the box in there, because they, I think at most they'll weigh maybe 80 to 100 pounds when they're packed in a compact shipping box. And so, you just get a couple of people and you just bring it in where you need to put it and set it up on the surface, and you're good to go. So, just the logistics factor of setting it up somewhere and the number of places that you can set it up are much, much more numerous than if you had a regular hard side tub. The third one is, once again, it kind of touches on the previous one, but it is a different entity in and of itself, so I will mention it, which is simply the mobility factor. If you live in an apartment and you got to move out or whatever it might be, with an inflatable tub, you simply drain it, clean it out, fold it on up, stuff it in the box, and take it with you. Good luck doing that with a hard side tub, particularly if you've got one of those big, huge 220 monsters. Good luck with that. You also have the backup and safety factor, in my opinion. If you have the disastrous thing of, say, or misfortune of, say, losing your job, with a portable hot tub, you simply tear it down and store it. And you have no recurrent costs, and even better, it's not taking up that space that it was formerly taking up. So if you wanted to do something else with that space, or just have a place to just sit out in a chair or something like that where the tub used to be, or whatever it might be that you decide to do with that area that's better suited for difficult circumstance, you've got that option. Whereas with a hard side tub, you can drain it and you can turn it off, but you still have this big, huge monster hogging up all this space wherever you decided to set it up, and you can't use it for anything else until you put an ad on Craigslist to have somebody come and get it, usually at a significant loss to you. So that would be another huge factor, is just simply that if, for mobility factor or the ability to regain the space that you lost to use it, it's much easier to do with an inflatable tub. Now, the next one that is really good with an inflatable hot tub, and this is one that I didn't even think about until I actually got my Lazy Spa Miami when I had it, was that the Lazy Spas, or any of the inflatable tubs, any manufacturer, I've sat in hot tubs that are, thousands of dollars, that have, the full-fledged, the hard side ones with the ergonomic seatings that you can lie down in and get the the hydrojets into your back and everything else. And I'll be honest with you, out of all the tubs that I have sat in, my $250 Lazy Spa Miami is by far the most comfortable seat that I've had in a hot tub, period. You know, and I've sat in, you know, as I said, a number of different tubs and used a number of different tubs, hard sides, you know, gone to the gym with their various super fancy setups and everything else. And none of them was as comfortable as sitting in my Miami. The padded bottom that's on it and the backing was just the most comfortable seat that I've had in a hot tub. So in my opinion, in terms of comfortable seating, the inflatable tubs definitely have an advantage over even the most expensive hard side tub that you can buy. That's just my personal opinion, but they're just very comfortable. So anyways, those would be the significant advantages. So as you can see there's a pretty good list of both pro and cons to these. You know, and so I hope I've been able through this video to kind of give a person an idea of what it is that you want to, you know, as far as, you know, pros and cons and deciding what works best for you. So, and I will go ahead and do full disclosure here where I had my Miami and last year, it finally deflated on me, unfortunately, after about 3.5 seasons of use. I ran it from mid-April to mid-October, all 3 of the previous years with no issues. And then I got it from about mid-April to about, you know, mid to late June. And then finally it just quit holding air. And I tried my best in order to try and repair the patch on it and see if I could find a hole or whatever it was. But I think honestly, it was just worn out at that point where the tub was just no longer able to reasonably hold air. I tried all the little tricks in the book that I learned from people that I talked to who own them. And nothing worked as far as trying to find if there was a leak or something like that. I just think the material was just worn out and wasn't holding air anymore. Or possibly that the structural support on the inside had just failed. So, but once again, you got to keep in mind, I paid about $250 for this thing, and I got about 3.5 good seasons of use out of it. So you figure if I get an inflatable hot tub that costs between, I don't know, $250 and even $400, and I have to replace it about every 3.5 years, I still would come out ahead over, say, a cheap plug-and-play 110 hot tub, hard side, which generally runs at the cheapest about $1,600 for a refurb. Not even a new, a refurb. Okay, or, you know, between $2,000 and $2,500 for a regular new one that is delivered to your house, by the way. So when you take a look at that, you know, I would still end up coming out ahead financially, even if every, 3 to 4 years I had to replace the tub. What I am going to do, the good news is it looks like finally, financially, I'm in a place now where I can replace it. I am going to look at doing a Lazy Spa Hawaii because I like the square dimensions better. And coincidentally, it actually fits the same leveling platform that I have. The dimensions are within it, so it will fit. And as well, even better, I've already got a leftover stock of treatment chemicals, filters, which the filter for the Miami and for the Hawaii is the same filter. So thankfully, the leftover filters I have, I've got them and they're ready to go. So anyways, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to end up replacing my Miami with a Lazy Spa Hawaii, and looking forward to it. Once I get it, I will be doing, of course, a review on it and hopefully a longevity review on it, kind of like I did with my Miami. And anyways, that's just kind of where I'm at with it. And anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video as far as weighing your options for pros and cons, for advantages and disadvantages. And that's all I've got, and thanks for watching.